Yo, what is up everybody? It's Nick here, and today I want to go ahead and talk about the most recent Pokemon Direct that happened yesterday. I want to kind of give my thoughts and my opinions on it since I couldn't make a react video reviewing it and talking about it since I was at work, so I figured I'd make a thoughts and opinions video. I've had more than 24 hours to really think about what the Direct showcased and all that good stuff. So I feel like now is a good time to talk about it and kind of share my thoughts. I've had plenty of time to think about everything, so that's what we're going to be doing here today. So if you guys missed the Direct, I believe it was up on YouTube. I'll link it down in the description down below. Go ahead, check it out, see what you guys think about it, and then come back and listen to my thoughts and my opinions and whatnot. But with that said, there were 3 games announced, and one by one I'll go ahead and talk about them and what I think and all that good stuff. So I am kind of going to be rambling on here a bit. I don't have a script or anything wrote down. I'm just kind of going to go based off what I feel. So this video might be a little longer, it might be shorter, I don't know, I'm not quite sure, but we're just going to go ahead and one by one talk about the games and what I think. So with that said, let's get started. Okay, so the first game that we got confirmed during this Direct was indeed Pokken Tournament. Now, Pokken Tournament was released on the Wii U, and I have to see, was it released, let's see, was it released last year? It was released 2 years ago, in 2015? That can't be right. That can't be right. Let me see. That can't be right. That cannot be right. It was like May or something, I thought. Anyway, I thought it was like last year. I thought it was in like spring or something like that. I think the July 16th, 2015 that I just looked up, I think that was for arcade. But I'm pretty sure it came out a year ago. Because I remember in spring of 2016 playing it, like right before summer. So, it's been out for not even like a full year, I think. Pretty much about a year now. But it is indeed getting ported to the Switch. It is a deluxe. So, lots of people are angry about this. Lots of people are upset. And I have to say, first of all, before I go in depth and I go on anymore, my expectations for this Direct were very low. They were very low. At the most, I thought they would announce Pokken, a deluxe version of Pokken. That was kind of something in the back of my head. And then maybe talk about a side game or something like that. I thought they would talk about, I thought at the very most, we would get a Pokken Deluxe or Pokken port announced, and then maybe like Detective Pikachu or some sort of side game or something like that, or a mobile game. So we ended up getting a lot more than I thought. So we did end up getting Pokken. I'm happy about this. I loved Pokken on the Wii U. It's one of my most played games. I love it. Just the other day, I was thinking about busting out my Wii U and playing some Pokken, because I really do like Pokken. I love it. I think it's a great game. The community is great. I haven't been the most active in it, but I do follow a lot of creators and personalities in the community. I hop on streams and watch videos every now and then, and I have to say, the Pokken community, while it's very small, it's still very strong, and I'm glad that I've been a part of it. I'm glad that it's been something that a lot of people have held dear and have been a part of. So I'm glad that we're being recognized. I'm glad Pokken's being recognized enough to bring it over to Switch. I'm not sure how well it sold, but I'm pretty sure it sold fairly well. I mean, it was a pretty hyped up game. I think a lot of people were very excited for it a year ago, or 2 years ago when I guess the arcade version was announced. But we are getting it for Switch. I'm happy. I'm happy about that. I loved it on Wii U. I'm gonna love it on Switch. Now I don't have to bust out my Wii U. Now it can stay in my closet, collect the dust, and I can have it on Switch, and it's going to look nicer. It's going to run better. I'll be able to play in handheld mode. That's big. That's big. I think that's going to be really, really cool. It's going to look really, really nice. Being able to swap between console and handheld is going to be amazing. It's definitely going to be one of those games that that I take around and play everywhere now, and I'm happy about that. I'm happy about that. With that, what makes it deluxe? We are getting, I believe, 5 new characters. We're getting 5 new characters, being 4 of them are the DLC, that was kind of hinted at almost like not 2 years ago, almost a year ago. I remember like summer of 2016, I believe, like in July or something. There was some leaks or someone found in coding Scissor, Duckrite, and Empoleon. And I think Krogunk ended up being somewhere in there. And those characters are indeed ending up in the deluxe. So we're getting Darkrai, Scissor, Empoleon, and Krogunk as playable characters. And I'm excited because these have been in the arcade version for a while now. So I'm glad that Pokken itself is finally getting these characters. I guess they're not coming to Wii U. I guess the Wii U version is kind of going to be left in the dark, and now they're going to focus on the Switch version. But as for the 5th character, we are getting Pokemon Sun and Moon's Decidueye. He is coming to Pokken. That's gonna be really, really cool. I'm very excited. I was waiting for a Sun and Moon character to get in Pokken since the game's release. I figured they were never gonna update the game, but if they would, I would love to see a Pokemon from Sun and Moon. And Decidueye or Incineroar would have been perfect fit. So I'm glad that they're both in there. So we are getting 5 new characters, which is really, really, really cool. We're also getting a new 3v3 team battle mode in this deluxe, so that sounds pretty cool. There's online ranked play and friend-only group matches, which I think the Wii U version had. I guess they're new, improved. I know that they didn't have 3v3, but I thought we had ranked and friend group. But we are getting that some new modes, new characters. I'm not sure if we're gonna get new maps or new stages. I would hope so, but that's what's making it deluxe. And honestly, I'll take it. I happily paid $60 for it a year ago when it came out on Wii U. And I guess new characters, some new modes, having it on Switch, being able to take in handheld mode, being able to play it on the TV and on handheld mode, I should say. It's going to look nicer, it's going to run better. I think I'll happily pay $60 for it again, especially since I know this is a game I can spend more than 100 hours of playtime in, with completing the main storyline and then doing tons of online stuff. I'm down for it. I'm down for it. I'm happy. I know a lot of people were disappointed with this because people get their hopes so high with Directs and Nintendo announcements, and it's like, you gotta learn not to do that. You gotta learn not to do that. So for me, I'm happy with this. For me, this is big. I'm glad that we're getting this. I had a ton of fun with Pokken at launch on Wii U, and I'm sure I'll feel the same way about it on Switch. So I'm very excited. I might have to get my Wii. I might have to play a little bit of Pokken before the game comes out to kind of get a hang of it. But the biggest thing for me is Empoleon. You guys, if you know me, you know Empoleon is my favorite Pokemon. I love Empoleon. He's the Cane Pokemon. He's the Cane. No one can dethrone him. I love Empoleon. He's going to be a playable character. I'm playing Empoleon and only Empoleon. I'm going to be the #1 Empoleon on Pokken. I'm very excited. I'm very hyped to be able to play as Empoleon. Oh my god, I'm just so happy. I'm so happy. And then plus him in 720p on handheld mode or 1080p on console as well. It's gonna look amazing, and I'm very excited. I'm very, very hyped. Oh my goodness. It's gonna look so nice, and I'm very excited that Empoleon's finally in the game. I'm definitely maining him. I'm playing him and only him. Maybe a little bit of Decidueye on the side, but mostly Empoleon. So I'm happy about that. Now, as far as Nintendo porting Wii U games to the Switch, this is, I guess, technically the 3rd Wii U game that we got on the Switch. Not counting Breath of the Wild because that launched with the system, and I don't really count that. But we did get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which deluxe version of Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U. We also got Lego City Undercover, if you kind of count that. That was on Wii U. But I believe it recently relaunched. It recently re-released, but I think on the newer systems like PS4 and Xbox One, if I'm not mistaken. So it makes sense that they'd throw it on the Switch as well. And I never played it on Wii U. I have been playing it on Switch, and it's a lot of fun. So for me, that's a new game, and I don't mind them bringing it over to the new system. And now we have a 3rd game being Pokken, which is getting another re-release as a deluxe. And even Constant Platoon is getting a sequel. I don't mind Nintendo bringing Wii U games and the Wii U library to the Switch. I don't mind it if it's not a main focus. You know, I don't want them to release the Switch and have it be new hardware for old software. You know, I don't want this to be the new Wii U, just now you can take it with you. You know, I don't mind it. as long as they just sprinkle them throughout the next year and a half, 2 years, and don't make it a main focus. I want new games. I still have my Wii U. I can always hook it up and play Mario Maker, play Pokken, play Mario Kart, play Smash, play whatever. And it's nice that they're thinking about bringing it on the new system so that it looks nicer. It runs better. You can actually play in handheld mode. They can add more stuff to the games. I'm fine with that. And they've definitely been making games like Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Splatoon 2 from what it looks like, and even Pokken. They're making these games really worth another $60. I think Pokken hopefully gets some more stuff, like more stages and stuff like that. But if you think about it, we're paying another $60 for these games that I've already bought 3 years ago. You know, I bought Mario Kart 8 on Wii U day one 3 years ago for $60. And I think I ended up buying like a guide or a poster or something like that, so I spent a little more. So as long as I don't mind them re-releasing them, but make them worth another $60. Add tons of new content, and don't just port over the entire Wii U library. Like Mario Kart 8, I can understand. It's a popular game. This will hold people off until Mario Kart 9. It feels like a brand new game. It's definitely worth the $60. I'm definitely going to put a lot more time into the Switch version than I did the Wii U. In fact, I think I'm almost there. Like I think I have almost more Switch playtime than the Wii U playtime. Just because it feels so much nicer. And being able to take it with you and play in handheld mode definitely adds more playtime. Because now I don't have to be glued to my TV. I can lay in my bed or go in another room and play it, and it's nice. Which I guess you could have kind of done with the Wii U, but it's nicer with the Switch. So I don't mind it as long as they make them deluxe, add new content, update them, keep active with them. You know, and I want to talk about keeping up to date with Pokken in a minute here. But I don't mind it as long as they add new content, make them new games. Because while, yes, many people who didn't have a Wii U, they probably didn't play Mario Kart, they probably didn't play Pokken, they probably didn't play Smash. So porting them over isn't a bad idea. But for all those people who did already play them, make them worth another $60. Add new content, add new characters, whatever it has to be. And I don't mind it. As long as the Switch doesn't turn into half of its library being Wii U ports, I'm fine. If they just sprinkle these deluxe version of Wii U games throughout the next year and a half, to kind of hold us over while they develop newer games like Mario Odyssey or whatever it may be. As long as it doesn't become overwhelming, and by this holiday, I want more new games for the Switch than Wii U ports. While I love a lot of the Wii U's game library, I really do, and a lot of games have potential to get ported over as deluxe versions, I do want new games. So I kind of figured by the end of this year, I figured we'd get Pokken. That was kind of in the back of my head. When we got Mario Kart 8, I kind of figured we'd get Pokken. I'm sure we'll probably get something like Mario Maker. I'm sure we'll probably get something like Smash. You know, I'm sure we'll get more Wii U games, which isn't bad. It's not bad because those were good games that not a whole lot of people got an opportunity to play. But at the same time, release new games. You can't just copy what you did in the past, add some new stuff, and here's a new console, old software. Nintendo should focus on new games, but I don't mind re-releasing Wii U games that not a whole lot of people got an opportunity to play. As long as it's not a main focus. Now, as far as Pokken, I really hope Nintendo keeps up to date with the game and cares about it and continues to support it, because there is a community behind it, and I hope Nintendo recognizes it. I mean, obviously they do. They're giving us a deluxe version of the game, so obviously they recognize that there are people who play it, there are people who enjoy it, but hopefully they stay updated with it. Hopefully they do release updates. Hopefully they do care about it and you know, craft it in a way that we can lead the torch for the game and we can continue to support it while they're in the background making sure everything's in check. So hopefully this time around Nintendo does support the game more. I feel like that's something we didn't get a whole lot from the first game. I'm telling you, as long as developers and the publishers and whatnot care about the game still and keep it strong, not always, but as long as they do that, then there is a community that will stay behind it. In some cases, you don't need developers behind the game. Obviously, games like Melee or, you know, Nintendo's not updating that. Nobody on their end is really caring about that game anymore. They're not staying up to date with it, but there's still a strong community, and Pokken can be like that. But we really do need Nintendo behind it, supporting it all the way. So I'm happy about Pokken Tournament Deluxe. That does release, I believe, September 22nd of this year. I'm very happy about it. I loved it on Wii U. I'm going to love it on Switch. It's definitely a must-buy for me, day one. probably will pre-order soon. Hopefully we get some more stuff for it. It's kind of annoying that they're releasing it like a ton of Wii U games again, but I'm happy. I'm getting it, and I was very excited when I heard that this was coming to Switch. So definitely a must buy for me. Definitely a pleasing announcement for me. Now, the next game, the next thing I want to talk about, and this I want to talk about a little more in depth, I guess. I have a lot more that I want to say. Now, everybody was hyping up Diamond and Pearl Remix. I don't know why. Everybody wants Diamond and Pearl Remix, and I guess I don't get it. They were fun games. At some point, they're gonna get remade. At some point, we already got first gen, second, third gen. I mean, why would they stop there? Obviously, at some point, we're gonna get Diamond and Pearl Remix, and I'm kind of torn between, oh, it's too soon. We just got ORAS. It's too soon to remake Diamond and Pearl. They were literally just on the DS, but at the same time, they came out. What, 10 years ago? 10 years ago? I mean, that is quite a while. And there was what, because when did, was it like, when did Ruby, hold on, I gotta look this up. Was it 12 years ago? Let me see. Yeah, I think it was like 12 years ago when Ruby and Sapphire released. I think, because when did those, I don't even know, I forgot when those even came out. I don't even know when the remakes come out. But what I'm saying is, I think it is a little too soon for remakes right now. It's not necessarily, it's too soon to remake 10-year-old games, but it's too soon to release them now. And I think that's what most people mean, and most people are getting at. We just got OS remakes. I feel like people are overhyping remakes, and they don't understand the whole point of a remake. This is how I look at it. They're not going to do Diamond and Pearl remakes on the 3DS. They're not going to. You can take, I have a copy of Diamond right across from me. I can take that copy and put it in my 3DS and play it. There's no need to remake it on 3DS. I can play it on my 3DS. There's no need to remake it. Yes, it would look nicer. Yes, it would run better. Yes, we'd probably get new Mega Evolutions now. Yes, the music would be updated. Yes, everything would be remade and remastered. But there's no need to. The whole reason they I can't talk today. The whole reason they remade Ruby and Sapphire was because you couldn't play it on your 3DS. You can't take that GBA card and put it in your 3DS. Maybe with the DS, yeah, but with the 3DS, it couldn't support it. So they remade it so you could play it on 3DS. That's the same reason they remade Red and Blue. Same reason they remade remade Gold and Silver. You know, you couldn't play those games on the DS. Therefore, they remade them. So if we get Diamond Pearl Remix, which I think we're gonna get them, in 2019 or 2020. And I'll explain in a minute here, but I think we're gonna get them in 2019 or 2020, and they'll be on the Switch. There's no reason to release them on the 3DS when you can take Diamond and Pearl and plug it into your 3DS or put it in there and play it now. It's too soon for them to release remakes. It's too soon right now. It's not necessarily too soon for them to make the remakes. It's been 10-year-old games now, but right now I don't think they're planning on releasing remakes anytime soon. The next remakes that we will get are Diamond and Pearl, and I think in 2019 or 2020 for the Nintendo Switch. But obviously we did not get those games announced. So what did we get announced? Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. Pokemon Sun and Moon got remakes before Diamond and Pearl. What on earth? Okay, so basically what I believe these games are is, first off, they're coming out less than a year after the first games. The Sun and Moon came out November 18th in 2017, or 2016, my bad. These games are coming out November 17th, 2017. What on earth? So, Sun and Moon released last year, 2016. These games are obviously releasing this year, so about a year after. And basically what these are is, I guess it's an alternate storyline. I guess they go into more details about Necrozma, which I respect. I'm glad they're doing, because when it came to X and Y, Zygarde was left in the dark. I still would not mind something for X and Y, Z, X2, Y2, something, because that storyline was as incomplete as it can be. The storyline was great. I loved the games. I loved them to death. They're some of my favorites, but there was so much missing from them that we never got finished. Nothing was clarified. Nothing was wrapped up. And frankly, from what I remember, Pokemon Sun and Moon didn't really leave off with any questions. I mean, yeah, you can question Necrozma and all that kind of stuff, but even then, there isn't any plot holes. There isn't really anything that we need clarification for, as far as I remember. So why they're doing this, I don't know why they're doing it this way, but basically what these are, I guess they're alternate versions of Sun and Moon, and I'm okay with this. They are releasing on the 3DS. They're not releasing on Switch, which anybody who thought that Pokemon was coming to the Switch this year is crazy. I don't know why everybody's all upset. It makes perfect sense for me. As far as Sun and Moon, and Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, this is how I look at it. This way, Game Freak can release these Sun and Moon sequels, remakes, whatever, and finish up 7th Gen. Finish it up. Any questions that people asked, anything that was maybe had people scratching their heads, not knowing what's going on, they can finish up anything and clear up the plot. There wasn't a whole lot, but this is their way of, I think, saying farewell to the 3DS. Until Pokemon leaves the 3DS is still going to stay strong. Nintendo obviously still wants to support it, which is fine. They did just release a whole new 2DS XL. So this way, come like this holiday, this fall and holiday, we have Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon to help support the 2DS XL, the new 2DS XL. And we also have the 2DS XL to help support Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. So it makes sense. This holiday, there's going to be an option for those who don't want a Switch. You can get 2DS XL and Pokemon. There's some new Pokemon games. I'm sure the storyline's going to be great. I loved Sun and Moon. I think I spent like 80 hours on my Sun copy on just the story alone. I absolutely loved it. I took my time with it. I played through it. I talked to everybody. I think I got I did almost everything that can be done, and I loved it. I loved it. Same thing with Moon. I think I put maybe a little less time in that one because I knew where to go and I knew what to do. So I spent a little less time in that. The only things I didn't like from Sun and Moon were the replay value. There was little replay value for me. I've fallen off competitive just because, I don't know, I didn't really like the Pokemon. The shiny hunting was different, and not in a different, oh, I don't like change, I can't deal with that. No, it's just a little weird. And I don't know, I think I've kind of fallen out of Pokemon doing anything other than just the story. So for Ultra Sun and Moon, I'm definitely going to get both copies. I'm still going to get Pokemon, even though I think I've been falling out of Pokemon for a while now. Since X and Y, I've just kind of been meh about the whole thing, and I thought Sun and Moon would bring the hype back, and it didn't really. I played through the stories and liked them. I'm still a big Pokemon fan. I'm obviously still going to get these games. I'm very excited. I'm just very divided. I don't think there's a whole lot of new stuff that they've been doing. And yeah, they did do the whole, they got rid of the gyms and they brought the trials, which I think was a cool, different thing. But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Hopefully, I don't think these are going to be the games that really change my mind and blow my mind by any means. But at least this way, Nintendo can support the 2DS XL, or the new 2DS XL, that they have something to market it with. They have something to push this holiday. And now I think Game Freak can start working on a Switch Pokemon game. It makes zero sense for them to release these games on Switch. It makes no sense to start the Alola region, start 7th Gen on 3DS, and then have it end up on a different system. It makes zero sense. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. Why would you start 7th Gen on a 3DS and then finish it up on Switch? I agree. Pokemon would, if these games were on Switch, it would sell and move systems like crazy. But Nintendo doesn't have any systems to push. They keep selling out. They're not producing enough consoles. You can't sell any consoles if you're not making enough. So while yes, if they released a new Pokemon game on Switch this year, it would be crazy. It would move systems. The holiday would be great for Nintendo, but there's no systems to push. There's no consoles for people to buy. With that said, people who've played Sun and Moon have access to a 3DS. They have a 3DS that they can play. Therefore, Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon are going to sell more now because they're on the 3DS. People have already played Sun and Moon. They want to play the newer games. They already have this system. Now, after this, Game Freak can wrap up. I think they're going to wrap up the 3DS as their go-to system for Pokemon games. And I think next year in 2018, we're going to get a brand new Pokemon game on Switch, 8th Gen. I think we're going to get 2 brand new games as usual. And they're going to be on Switch. That way, they have a whole new game to market. It's not 7th Gen, it's a whole new generation. They have a whole new game to market. Hopefully by then, Nintendo can get enough systems being made. And they can push systems, sell copies. It'll be great. Take everything that's worked in the past and improve it, work upon it. Take out things that didn't work, and we'll have a brand new Pokemon game on Switch. It'll sell like crazy. I guarantee it. Everybody knows it. I'm not predicting anything here. We know it will sell the Switch. And that'll be that. I think then 3DS can rest in peace. I definitely still see some people developing games for it. I don't know if Nintendo is going to fully back it up at that point. I think once Pokemon leaves 3DS, I think a majority of games and developers will follow. I don't know if there'll be a whole lot of games after that for the 3DS. Just because it's like, Pokemon is one of the best-selling games on the 3DS. Once Pokemon leaves, not a whole lot of games are going to sell the system like Pokemon would. And if people are buying Switches, they're not going to focus on 3DS. And I think once Pokemon leaves 3DS, it's kind of the end of that. After that, after we get brand new games in 2018, then I think it's time we get Diamond and Pearl Remix in 2019. Or maybe a year after in 2020. But I think 2019 is probably a little more realistic. And yeah, I do believe they'll be for Switch. And then after that, we can get newer games. Probably 9th Gen after that, which is crazy to think. But that's how I look at it. That's how I think of it. Ultra Sun and Moon, they're definitely different. We've never had anything like this. I guess Black 2, White 2 is kind of the same thing. I loved Black 2, White 2, so obviously I'm excited for Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I see what Nintendo's doing. I see what people are upset about. I do see what Game Freak is doing here. It's kind of a weird way to do it, but they want to wrap up 7th Gen and have a fresh start on Switch. I guess I don't understand why anyone would think this would be on Switch. It doesn't make sense. I don't know. I'm happy that it's on 3DS. I think this is going to be the last Pokemon game on 3DS, and now we can start transitioning to full Switch effect by next year. I think this will be probably the last, I guess, system seller for the 3DS, and then after that, I really do think it's just gonna be full Switch. Just full Switch concentration. Everything's pumping out on that. This is a weird way to do it, but I think they really just want to give a sequel to Sun and Moon, wrap up that, and then the next games will be 8th Gen on the Switch, and that'll be that. I'm excited for them. I'm pre-ordering them. I'm a Pokemon fan. I'm gonna get both. It's what I do. I was kind of hesitant about it this time around. I was like, am I gonna get these games at all? Am I only gonna get one? But no, I'm gonna get both. It's what I've been doing forever now. So I'm gonna get both games. I'm gonna play through both of them. I don't know if I'll get back into competitive at all. I don't know if I'll get back into shiny hunting at all. That's something that Sun and Moon made me fall out of. I don't know. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see what these can do differently and how they can mix up what we've been seeing for the past years. Like what more can they do to mix it up? So yeah, I will have to say I never believed in the Stars hype. Everybody was hyping up Stars and or Eclipse or whatever, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know why anybody. I feel like it's a little too soon for a Pokemon game on Switch. And you can only say this for so long, but it just released. It's only 3 months old now. By next year, we will get a Pokemon game on Switch. I don't think right now is the best time to release a Pokemon game on Switch, because there's not enough systems. Game Freak and Nintendo need to take full effect of having as many consoles ready to sell as possible, because as soon as Pokemon is announced for Switch, like a main storyline game, the system's selling out. The system is selling out, and you will not be able to find it. So right now is not the time to release them, because there's no consoles to sell. There's no, even if they did Diamond and Pearl, whether they did Stars, whether they did, it doesn't matter. As soon as a main storyline Pokemon game comes on Switch, the 3DS is going to slowly die off then and there, in a good way. It had a good long life, but it's going to die off there, and systems, the Switch is going to sell out like crazy. But right now is not that time. Right now is not that time. Don't put it on Switch. It doesn't make sense to start some gen on one system and wrap it up on the other. It's kind of what they did with like Black 2 and White 2. Because if I remember correctly, Black and White came out on the DS, and Black 2 and White 2 came out when the 3DS was out. If I'm not mistaken. No. Because they came out like 2012, didn't they? Yeah, they came out in 2012. Yeah, the 3DS was like a year old by then. Yeah, they're doing exactly the same thing with Black 2 and White 2. They released Sun Moon last year. They're doing sequels this year. They're not releasing on Switch, which is smart. And then next year, they can continue to develop for the Switch and release a fantastic brand new title. Because the Switch it's a brand new hardware. It's a handheld mixed with console, better graphics. It's going to run games better. I'd rather them wait and take their time developing the new games for the system than to just drop it now. It's way too soon for it's too soon for 8th gen. It's too soon for Diamond Pearl remakes. And it doesn't make sense to release Ultra Sun and Moon on the Switch if there's no systems to sell and if it can't take full advantage of what the system can do. That's how I look at it. That's what makes most sense to me. I guess some people, I don't understand the whole, it doesn't matter if it's on Switch, because it doesn't make sense for me. I think the next Pokemon games that come out will be Gen 8 on the Switch, and right now, the way that they're doing it with Ultra Sun and Moon, it's weird, but it's kind of a transition into the new games for the new system. But right now, we have to go through the dark tunnel before we can get to the light on the other end. So we have to sit through this weird, kind of painful, weird remake, sequel type thing of games. Play them, enjoy them. A year later, I guarantee you'll get Pokemon on the Switch. Probably late 2018, probably in November, October, when Pokemon games usually drop. We'll get new games. Everybody will be happy. Everybody will be excited. They'll be new. They'll be different. They'll take advantage of what the Switch can do. And I'm excited. I'm excited for what's to come after that. So yeah. On the bright side, it does feature some new Pokemon. It does feature, I guess Lunala and Solgaleo do get these new forms and whatnot. I don't know if those are the only new Pokemon or forms, or if there's like actual new Pokemon, or if they're just the forms. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Either way, they're new Pokemon, so I can't complain. They're at least giving us something different, something new, to kind of make the games feel a little fresh. So I'm happy about that. There is some new Pokemon. There's going to be a new storyline. So you can't complain too much. Anybody who hyped up Diamond and Pearl remakes or Stars, that's your own fault. I don't know why everybody's hyping up games like that have no business being announced in an 8-man direct like that. And I understand, I think Auras was announced in a direct. X and Y were announced in a direct. But it's just too soon for new games like this. But after this, Switch will get a Pokemon game, and everybody will be happy. So the final games that were kind of announced, Gold and Silver coming to the eShop. I'm not gonna hype anything up. Gold and Silver are coming to the virtual console eShop on 3DS, which is cool. Been waiting for a while for those. I love second gen. I didn't play the original games. I did play Heart Gold like crazy. I need to find my Heart Gold card. I need to find it. I need to find that. I love Heart Gold. It's honestly probably my favorite game of all time. It's definitely up there for sure. It's definitely up there for sure. I love Heart Gold, but the originals are coming to they're coming to the 3DS eShop on September 22nd. Or not September 22nd. Yeah, September 22nd when Pokken comes out. They're coming to the eShop on September 22nd when Pokken comes out. So, if you don't have a Switch and you don't want to pick up Pokken, you can play a little bit of Pokemon that day, being Gold and Silver. They're coming to the eShop. I might pick one. I might pick up Gold. I probably won't get to play it for like probably a week or a month after Pokken comes out, just because when Pokken does come out, I'm probably gonna focus most of my time on that. So I don't know, but maybe I'll stream it. Maybe I'll let's play it. I do want to play through it. It's like on Twitch or YouTube, like live. I think that'd be fun. So I'll be getting them. I'll be getting at least Gold at some point. I don't play my 3DS a whole lot anymore. I will this November when Ultra Sun Moon come out, but other than that, yeah, I don't play my 3DS a whole lot anymore. So these are gonna be at least something to bring my 3DS back to life for a little bit. But those did get announced, so whoopee if you've been waiting. There they are. But with that said, that was the Direct. My hopes were very, very low. Like I said, I expected maybe Pokken, if that. Like, even then, I was like, knowing Nintendo, they're not going to announce Pokken. They're not going to do it. So I was thinking it was going to be something with a mobile game or a spin-off. I ended up getting a lot more than I expected. So I'm happy with this. And I see the possibility with Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I see why they're doing it. And I think most people are so focused on just rushing out games and remaking things. And you know, Stars and Diamond and Pearl remakes have been so hyped from the internet. And Game Freak, Pokemon, Nintendo have not talked about them once. Not once has Nintendo ever, I don't even think they've ever addressed Diamond and Pearl remakes or Stars. Correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. Correct me if I'm wrong. But people just, the internet hypes things up for their own good, like just because they want to, and then when Nintendo doesn't give them these overhyped, impossible things that don't deserve to be released at this time, they blame Nintendo. I don't think the Direct was disappointing. I think people just overhype things, and I'm not disappointed by the Direct. I'm happy with it. I'm glad Nintendo's doing what they're doing. I'm glad we're getting Pokemon on the Switch. I'm glad we're getting a solid farewell to the 3DS with Ultra Sun and Moon, because I feel like those are going to be the last Pokemon games on 3DS. We're getting a final push to that system, and then after that, it's full Switch from there, I believe. And I'm happy for that. I definitely see potential and a future for Pokemon on Switch and a ton of other things. And people just rush things. I feel like they just want them as soon as possible. And now is not the time to put Pokemon on Switch. Now it's not the time to put it on there yet. So, with that being said, there were some other things I wanted to talk about now that I think about it, and I just didn't get to it. Very long video, so it's a lot longer than I wanted it to be, so we're going to end it off here. If you want to debate or have a conversation in the comments, definitely go ahead. There's a lot of other things I wanted to say. I might drop those in the comments as well, but thank you for listening. I did have a whole lot that I wanted to say, so I'm glad you took the time to hear me out. With that said, if you enjoyed, definitely leave a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And with that said, take care. Have yourselves a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.